You guys are all trade. But I am curious, regardless of how who you're writing for, I think one of the biggest questions everyone has is how do you get your story told in the first place? So what are some strategies that you have seen that are effective in getting pitches picked up by you? What rules do you follow? I mean, I know that one rule we talked about, David, was not pitching more than one place at the same time or giving the same pitch, but if you could share some of those, I think those would be super helpful.
I think first and foremost, know who you're pitching. Magazines, blogs, no matter who it is, they all have a certain way that they focus on what they write about, and it's most important for you to know what their focus is when you're pitching them so that you can pitch them in the right manner. That's super important. You know, if, say, I write for SOMM Journal, which is editorially focused on regions, wineries, telling the story to educate the people that read the magazine about it, that's a very different pitch than a new product that's coming out that I'm going to write for in Tasting Panel magazine, for instance. So it's really knowing who your audience is that you're pitching to so that they're more willing then to pick up that story.
I would agree, and also I would mention that every brand out there is going to have one core story, but it can be nuanced or angled in many ways, and if you know who you're angling it for, you're going to be ahead of the game if you can angle your pitch right to that publication. For example, with our magazines, we care totally about distribution. We need to know it up front, and if you tell us you're in certain states, then that tells me where it could work, and if not, I don't care. If you're not going to tell me where you're distributed, I might not even ask. So get the information out there that the publication or the media outlet really is going to want, and you can tailor it. It's so easy to start with basic material and then change a little bit here and there so that you're changing a pitch to a local publication or a national one or a category one.
And just to piggyback on what David said about know who you're pitching to, I said I just write about distilled spirits. I get hundreds of press releases about wine and beer, and all. I know that the PR firm, if it's a PR firm as opposed to, say, in-house, that they're buying a media list and the word beverage is somewhere in the description. So they're not tailoring that to me. They're just sending it blanket, obviously, to everybody and hoping someone will pick it up. But I don't really need to see a lot of wine press releases, do I? So you need to focus on who you're talking to, hyper-focus.
I can't really add anything to that other than, you know, the question I always ask is, why do my readers care about this? I understand why a lot of brand owners care about their story, but why should my readers care about this? And if you ask yourself that question, that's when you find the angle usually.